So today's video is going to be something different. I'm going to put together a little juicy parlay on FanDuel, and I'm going to show you my picks for week 1 of the college football season. What's going on, Canes fans? I told you guys that we were going to be posting a lot more videos during the season this year, and this is going to be a new series that we're going to do every week. And what I want to see you guys do is leave a comment down below. It can literally be anything. It can be talking about my bets, it can be critiquing them, talking about your bets, or just talking about, some of the games that we discuss when looking through these bets. And what I'm going to do is, if any of my parlays hit this season, I'm going to pick a random comment in the comment section and send you some money from that successful bet. Now, they obviously don't always hit, so it doesn't mean there's always going to be a winner, but, just literally leave a comment and you could win some money. Now, I need to add some disclaimers. First off, I had posted this video literally earlier today, and a bunch of people got real pissy over it because apparently I wasn't always using correct official betting terminology, which is true. For instance, I was saying that I was taking the points when I was actually laying the points because I was betting on the favorite. So I'm literally just redoing this video. Hopefully, now that I already know what I'm picking, it will go much faster this time. Also, this is not any betting advice. These are just my picks. I'm not condoning or promoting betting. If you do bet, make sure that you are doing it in a legal state and you are of age. But last year, I did place quite a few bets throughout the season, both on college football and NFL football, and I came out about positive $900. So we were in the green. But I'm a very conservative bettor, which you will notice very quickly whenever I start showing you my picks here. I am a low risk, high reward. I like to build big, fat, juicy parlays that typically don't hit, but at most I'm out $5 or $10. I usually set my limit to about $20 if I'm being honest. So again, super conservative bettor, but that's just the way that I approach this thing. So this isn't betting advice. I'm not trying to tell you you should make these picks. I'm just sharing with you what mine are and possibly sharing a little piece of the pie if you want to contribute down in the comment section below. So let's just jump right on into this thing. Some of these we'll discuss a little bit. Some of them we won't. Some of them I'm just going with my gut. Some of them I actually have a reason for betting it. And the very first one that I'm going to go ahead and put a bet on is the Miami Hurricanes game. I don't typically like to bet on the Hurricanes because that gets a little personal, right? Like, that's my squad. That's my team. And you want to use your brain when betting. But I'm actually pretty confident here betting here on the spread and laying the points for the Hurricanes. I think that actually we win by about 21 or more. So I think 16.5 is a pretty safe bet on this game. Now, historically speaking, this is not a safe bet. This is not one that you would want to make because the Hurricanes tend to not show up in games that we should, but hoping for something a little different this year. I will say that I was tempted to bet on this Utah-Florida game. I would have probably just went straight money line. Utah winning this one. Florida, I think, is going to struggle quite a bit this season. We've seen the depth chart. We know the issues that they've been having, but for some reason, I just can't get myself to bet on this one. It's a Thursday night game. I need some of these games. I need to see how these teams look week 1, and then maybe I'll place some bets on some future games for them. But I just couldn't bring myself to bet on that game this week. Louisville and Georgia Tech is the same scenario. I'm confident that I think Louisville would take care of business. I would even be tempted to lay the points here for them with the spread, but I'm just going to walk away from that game for this week. The next one that I'm actually going to place a bet on here is the Tennessee Volunteers. A lot of hype going into this season. I think that Joe Milton is probably a pretty good quarterback. They got to dial in his accuracy, but he's got a really strong arm. He's surrounded by a lot of weapons. I'm going to go with the spread here and lay the points on Tennessee. That's pretty hefty, 27.5 points. But honestly, I think that Tennessee could be up probably 35 plus going into halftime. We're very familiar with Virginia as Miami Hurricanes fans, so I'm pretty confident in that one. And just as a heads up, if you have like a free bet on FanDuel or some other betting website, this is just the one that I prefer. There could be some potential money here in this Colorado TCU, but I don't have the balls to take it. Money line odds at plus 720 for Colorado. I mean, I think TCU still wins that personally. But maybe Deion shocks the world week 1 against a football team that had to replace their offensive coordinator and was in the college football playoffs last season. I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe if you had, again, a free bet, some easy money if you took a chance on Colorado, but not me. Not me. Coop ain't doing it. The next game I'll be looking at here is, and Canes fans aren't going to like this, but the Ohio State-Indiana game. 29.5 point favorite. I'm laying the points and taking the spread here on Ohio State. I had a brief pause for a second because I don't like talking up the Buckeyes. I think this is one where Ohio State can beat them by 35 plus, maybe even 40 plus. Ohio State does have a new starting quarterback. Might take them a little bit to get settled in, but once they do, they're going to hit the ground running and just absolutely annihilate Indiana. Texas is another one that I wanted to take, but I'm not really feeling comfortable at 35.5 points. Money line is currently locked, and plus it's just out of this world odds anyway, so wouldn't do us a whole lot of good trying to build a low risk, high reward, juicy parlay anyway. So we'll skip that one, but Texas could be something this year. I really think they could be. USC, I'm staying away from this game after their San Jose game last week. Got lots of question marks when it comes to USC. Not betting A&M. We visit them next week. The next one I'm actually going to look at here is Penn State and West Virginia. There are a lot of people who think Penn State is a potential college football playoff team this season. I say, whoa there. Let's take a step back here for a moment. But I do think they absolutely destroy West Virginia. They could be up 21 plus points in the first quarter, honestly. And I know some people are going to plug in some Manny Diaz jokes here, and that's okay. I'm not a fan of Penn State, but when it comes to betting, again, you're using your brain. You're not betting with your fandom here. And I think that that's a pretty safe bet. I'm laying the points on Penn State. And some people are also going to ask, Coop, why don't you bet the over-under more often? I will sometimes, but week 1, when looking at some of these games, I'm just not super comfortable because, again, a lot of this is based off of last season for a lot of these teams. What we're seeing on paper, scrimmages and camps and things. So I'm not really confident betting the over-under on, I don't think, any games week 1, just personally. Another one that I really, really want to bet on, and I might do a little side bet, but I'm not going to put in this parlay, is the North Carolina-South Carolina game. I would be tempted to take the money line on UNC here, but I wouldn't doubt South Carolina potentially beating them. I mean, it's going to be Rattler versus Drake May. North Carolina should be the better team, but they lost a lot of playmakers. So I'm staying away from that one, personally. Let me know what you guys think. I think South Carolina has a shot at winning it, and they are the underdogs. So that could juice up this parlay a bit, but just personally, week 1, I'm walking away from that one. The next one that I'm going to look at here is Coastal Carolina and UCLA. And I'm actually going to lay the points on UCLA with this one, which is probably going to be very controversial, and I get it. Coastal Carolina has shocked some teams before, but this is a very long way for them to travel. They're practically going across the country, and it's somewhat of a late game. They have a new head coach, I'm pretty sure, at Coastal Carolina, and UCLA has Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly at times is, it's been a little rocky with him, but I do feel pretty firm in this and think that UCLA can take care of business and beat them by more than this, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the points on UCLA with this one. And the last one I'm actually going to take for this video is I was going to say the last one, but we're going to go back and find one more. I'm going to do the money line here on Clemson. I would love to be confident in laying the points here with the spread at 12.5. But still, week one, Clemson does have some question marks. I think they beat them by like 21 plus, maybe 20, 30 plus, honestly. Actually, if I'm being real. But again, week one, it kind of changes my approach to this thing with it being the first week of college football. There are some upsets that happen week one very early on, and there are a lot of shocks and surprises and things. So that's my first money line, but really I think I missed one that I want to do a money line bet on, which is going to be Tulane. Did I just completely scroll past that game? So yeah, I am in fact blind. I was on the featured tab instead of the games tab, which is funny because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the games that I was going to bet on, but it did leave out the Tulane and South Alabama game. And this was the second one that I am punching in the money line for Tulane. I really don't even know why. This is one of those where I said sometimes I'm just going with my gut here. Tulane should just be the better football team. It is a home game for them. Just kind of one of those random ones. I feel like they handle business against South Alabama, and it gives us one more leg in that parlay to kind of increase the potential payout. But as I said, if there were games that were missed because we were on the feature tab, it doesn't matter because I already knew the games that I had locked in that I wanted to bet on. And this is a bet that I am going to lock in and, in fact, make. As I said, this isn't betting advice, but I'll remove the camera and we'll take a look at the odds here. Plus 4,034. I will put $10 on this one. So again, as you can see, a low risk, high reward. I realize it's a 7-leg parlay. A lot of things would need to go my way to make this happen. But $10 to pay out $403.40, I will take those odds, especially for week one. So let me know down in the comment section below. As I said, you can critique my betting. I've only been betting on sports casually for maybe a year or two. So I don't always get the terminology correct, but I do know the information that I'm looking at. Again, hence why this is a re-upload. So if you commented on the previous one, just re-comment on this one, anything that you want. But I'm actually feeling pretty good about this one. If I'm being real, I really am. Now I'm going to go back later. I'm just going to plug this in at the end. And I think that I'm going to put a bet on the LSU Florida State game. Wow, look at me rolling all the way into week 2. This LSU Florida State game could be interesting. They have Florida State as an underdog right now. I'll be honest with you and be blunt. What I would be tempted to do is take money line LSU, but there's not a lot of money there with the style of betting with my approach to this. So I would have to kind of bundle in a couple of other games. Like, for instance, I would still be pretty confident with Oregon State in this one. But again, after seeing San Jose State put up some points on USC has some issues with their defense. I know they still lost, but I'm kind of questioning how far I would take this particular bet. So that's something that I'll address off of this video. So you saw the one that I locked in, my little 7-leg parlay. Again, we'll do this every single week. So week 2, I'll place another juicy fat parlay bet, and we'll actually take a look, because I don't run and I don't hide. We'll go back and we'll take a look at week 1 and see how close I was to landing this one. And maybe we get it. And if we do, I'll literally pick a random comment and PayPal or Cash App you some money, whatever you prefer. But if we miss, we'll go take a look and we'll see which ones we missed on. But don't forget to leave a comment so you can be entered to win some free money. Remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.